Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liaoming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mariji Bodhisattva and retinue. Simo, Tanchen Gatso, Duten City. Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do?
아이스테르 사랑해 오라미코 깨깨로무쳐 스코인 이지바 김어지 주미 야비 뿌린뿌린 konnichiwa.那现在通知大家，下个礼拜天是10月。
Let me announce for next Sunday, 3 p.m., October 17th.
这次的护摩是莲花童子。
The Homa would be that of Padma Kumara.
莲花童子的护摩。那这个莲花童子4个字。
And Padma Kumara, in Chinese, 4 words, 莲花童子, lotus youth or lotus child, was when I was first, my divine eye was first opened. I was brought to the heavenly realms and the earthly realms to see my own past lives. And I saw my own past life, which had no form. It was just light all over, very bright, brilliant white light. And Golden Mother told me in my ears, you are Lotus Child, or Lotus Youth, or Padma Kumara. At that time, I did not know Padma Kumara. Who Padma Kumara is, I never knew. What is Lotus Child? And I only knew later on that he was the chief of the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds. And only later on I found out that Padma Kumara is an emanation of Amitabha Buddha. Otherwise, nobody ever talked about Padma Kumara. Nobody ever mentioned
所有的佛、
lotus
菩萨
youth or
也没
Padmakumara.
有人讲到莲花童子，
Among all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, nobody ever mentioned Padmakumara.
居然在
Never.
敦煌石窟
Yet, at the Donghuang
兰州大
Grottos,
学出版了一
the
本
Lanzhou
敦
University
煌石
published
窟的研究，
a research on the Donghuang
里
Grottos.
面居然有莲花童子，
And inside the caves, they are Padmakumaras.
而且还有莲花童子的研究。
And they also have research on Padmakumara.
刚开始的时候啊，称为相方童子，
In the beginning, he was
称为
called
化生童子，
the Auspicious Light Youth
后来又有莲花童子，
or Huaseng Youth.
才知道原来有莲花童子。
And then they had the research on Padmakumara. Only then we know there is Padmakumara.
就是敦煌石窟里面有很多的莲花童子。
So it turned out that inside the Donghuang caves there are many Padmakumaras.
是阿弥陀佛。
So this deity is an emanation of Amitabha Buddha.
那师尊呢
And Grandmaster
白色的大莲花童子
is a white, great
转世，
lotus youth,
这个就是根源。
is a reincarnation of white Mahapadmakumara. That's
你们
my
如果愿
origin.
意跟
If you're
大
willing
白莲花童子结缘，
to create affinity or connection with the white Mahapadmakumara, then become the primary supplicant. But if you don't want to,
那也是随你们的意，
it's up to you.
因为没什么话好讲，对不对？
Nothing to
现
say.
在疫情时间啊，
Now it's the
大家生
pandemic.
计困难，
Everybody is suffering economically.
说省一省，
So you want
省
to
一省，做
be
功德主也
economical.
可以。
Then you can just be a merit holder.
我不知道是多少，
I don't know how much, but it's less.
做功德主也是结缘啊。
So then you also create affinity by becoming a merit holder
做功德
and also becoming a primary supplicant. You would create
如果你
affinity.
们觉得说
If you feel that primary supplicants is too much and you want to save some
那你
money,
们一心
then you wholeheartedly visualize Padmakumara to be seated on top of your
本上
heads.
是住底
Your lineage root guru on top of your head,
直播，
and you watch the live
行
stream,
前进也是可以，
and with a total
不
reverence
用不用花钱，不
and
用花钱，你就是看直播
earnestness or sincerity, you don't have to spend any money. Just watch the live
是能够
stream
得到加持。
and visualize Padmakumara on top of your head. You will still receive blessings.
尤其我的戒律，
Especially
教我的戒律，
my precept that was
可以
taught to
开
me
口
by
跟
my
人家要
guru.
钱，
You cannot open your mouth and ask for money. That's it.
这尊莲花童子非常庄严。
So this Padmakumara image is extremely
那
majestic.
今天我们是做麻利之天，
And today
跟世尊有
we had
签合同，
Mariji
就是他麻利之
which
天
signed contract with Grandmaster.
守
Mariji
生活中的
Devi is willing to protect and support true Buddha school disciples.
他就是在道家里面讲到的
And in Taoism,
母心经，
she's referred as Do Mu Xing Jun,
所有的心术主
which is the head of all the
是
constellation.
真那佛，
Her origin was an emanation of Vairocana Buddha.
是刀立天主的眷属。
She's a family of the Triatrimsa heaven. She's in charge of all the constellations or planets under the heaven.
72地煞，
So
所有的
the 28 constellations,
72
the
地煞，
36 heavenly and
天宫，
the heavenly palace and 72 earthly fiends, all of them.
它是道家的斗母心经。
So she is the Domu Xingjun of Taoism, which is also Mariji in
所以今天
Tantrayana.
要做它的这个，
So today,
那就是有这个，他来，他的号叫做战威金刚，战威金
and
刚
her Vajra name is the warrior Vajra.
是非常迅速。
And her response is extremely swift. We had hailstorm earlier.
感应，
That's spiritual response.
它可以呼风唤雨，
She can call on the wind and the rain.
带来了很大的雨。
She brought heavy rain.
麻利之天叫做战威金刚，是
So
战斗
Mariji Devi is also referred as the warrior
可以解
Vajra.
决多灾难的这一尊。
And she can alleviate many calamities.
啊，他这里有写到，他有天女
It's written here.
是十座煞，哪座煞？
There's a form, which is a goddess form, holding a fan, and the other hand, wishful feeling mudra. And there's also the tantric image, which is like this.
啊，这里只画一只猪，
And there's only one pig on this one. Actually, there are 7 pigs carrying the chariot. I've never heard that pigs can also pull on the chariot. And she has 3 faces,
很多只手，
many
战为
arms.
金刚。这个日本
The
的
warrior Vajra.
印甲，
The Japanese ninja
麻利之天，
worship
他能够
Marichi
允循，能够起雾，能够守护，
because she can be invisible, can call on the mist,
或者修他的
and many other. By worshipping her or practicing her dharma, she can alleviate many
政
calamities.
治的灾难。
Calamities due to politics,
出门坐车、坐船、坐飞机的灾难，
or travel accidents and
还
disasters,
有劫难、
like from the cars, boats, planes,
小
etc.,
偷、强盗的难，
or
可以解除。
disasters due to stealings, robberies,
刀兵难、
and
战争的灾难可以解除。
calamities due to
刀兵的难、
weapons and
毒
armed
药难，人家
forces,
用毒药给你，
and calamities due to poisons.
你念
If
麻
you are
利之天
poisoned and you chant Mariji mantra and don't drink it.
毒药的难，
So,
冤家恶人，
and disasters due to enemies and evil people who are trying to harm
害不
you,
了你。
and they will not succeed.
地水火风的难，
And disasters, natural disasters due to earth, water, fire, and wind
鬼神的难，
can be alleviated.
鬼神
And
作祟
disasters due to ghosts and gods,
另外，恶
demons,
兽的难，
and black magic and spells and curses, and disasters due to wild beasts,
遇到
like when you
熊，
encounter a tiger, a
遇到
bear,
豹，
a leopard,
遇到这些那个
poisonous snakes, chant Marichi mantra. That's disasters due to wild beasts can be alleviated. When you encounter a bear, you should pretend you're dead, because bears don't eat dead things. But when you're pretending to be dead and you have to breathe, then that's it. If you cannot hold your breath, what can you do then? So when you encounter a bear, quickly turn around and run. But bears run very fast, even if you climb trees, because bears can also climb trees. There's no use even if you jump into the water. Bears can be in the water. So while running, you chant. You shout loudly, "Oh, Marichi Soha," to scare them. They said that it's best to blow a whistle because if it's very loud, it can scare them. That's disasters due to wild beasts. So all of the disasters can be alleviated. And you would know if you read the Marichi Sutra. It's excellent if you become primary supplicants for this deity. You create affinity with her and can alleviate many disasters. Today we have the 4 small girls from California here. They came here especially for the drought in California. They came here to pray for rain. So we would like to thank them. The 4 small girls from California. Thank you for coming. They prayed to the Dragon King. How many days have you prayed? 4 days. Are you continuing? Another 2 days, so for a total of 6 days. So they are truly sincere while praying and chanting and bowing. I heard that once they kneel, they could not get up. And the eldest one is in her 80s, and the youngest one is already in her 70s. You know, as soon as you appeared in front of the Dragon King would run away. It's cold, and the 4 of them still prayed. You will definitely receive spiritual responses. Teresa Wei has been doing a lot of Homa. And Ruby's son is accompanied by Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. And Linda Chung is the joke king. And if she tells jokes to the Dragon King too would laugh. And Amy Jiang is a very good Buddhist disciple. There's four high people came here. They prayed only for 4 days, and here in Seattle, we already received the response. It's been raining starting last night. And they asked, is it the rain at the wrong place? It shouldn't, because you said it clearly for California. Fire, California, drought, and no water in the water dams in California. Your wishes will be fulfilled, for sure. I heard that after praying for 4 days, that in the news today, there are lots of dark clouds over California. All of a sudden, there are lots of dark clouds above California. Has it started to rain? Not yet. So 2 more. If you pray more, then it will definitely rain. Thank you. All merits come from the Root Guru. Oh, you're just passing on the responsibility, huh?
好了，你们请坐，你们请坐。这真的是谢谢他们。师尊在法座上讲了，他们4个。
Thank you. I talk about it on the Dharma throne, and immediately they came.
一定会下来。你看我们西雅图。
So it will definitely rain. Look at Seattle. With your prayer, we have such heavy rain.
再来呢就是加州。
So next it'll be California.
现在下冰雹。
Now it's raining hails. Their sounds. Heavy rain. Hailstorm. Let me share a joke first.
昨一天我在书店看见一本书。
One day I went to the bookshop and I saw a book that said, the title, it will resolve 50% of your life problems. So I bought 2 books. So 50%. So if I buy 2 books, that would be 100%. I have consulted about the rain in California. Earlier it was 70%. There'll be about 70% rain. That's not bad. Let me consult it again now. She said, after the rain, it'll continue to rain. And reach 80%. So it will continue to rain. But no hurry, no rush. That you want the rain immediately after the prayer. They said that it will definitely rain up to 80%. And the second joke, the Chinese teacher walked in front of Xiaoming and pat on Xiaoming's head.
上课又睡觉。
You're sleeping in class.
你站起来。
Stand up.
讲我刚刚上课讲的是什么？
So tell me what I was talking about earlier.
上课又睡觉。
Xiaoming replied, sleeping in class.
小明呢，很聪明啊，你看答的也很对啊。
Xiaoming's really smart. His answer was right.
小明的妻子问小明，隔壁
Xiaoming's wife asked Xiaoming,
要开张。
the laundromat next door is opening. What should we give her? And Xiaoming said, oh, I've thought about it. Let's give her a placard, a board, like with calligraphy. So what kind of writing? And Xiaoming said, oh, I've thought about it. Return purity to me. Smart. Now we will do the question and answer. Asked by Lianhua Ciming from Taiwan. Grandmaster, in your book Heavens and Beyond, in an article called Bright Radiance, Thousands of Miles, you were talking about a Dharma teacher who went to give Dharma teaching at somebody's house. And this Dharma teacher usually also performed Sutra chanting for the deceased, and did not know for what reasons there are 37 ghosts following him to this person's house. So my question is, so for people who chant sutra for the deceased, would they have the ghosts following them? So if we have to help, what can we do so that the ghost doesn't follow us home? And the next question is, when we make offering to the ghosts and gods, we always chant to the Garuda and the wandering and solitary ghosts and gods, and then we walk outside and sprinkle the water for the ghosts and gods. But if we are inside the house, can we also use the 3 home water to offer to the ancestors only without chanting the Garuda and the solitary ghosts, so that the ghosts don't come into the house? So the point here, they don't want to have the ghosts following them home. So whether offering to the ghosts and gods or the white sutra chanting for the deceased, so that they don't want the ghosts following them home. There should be a way. Generally speaking, we can perform the protection of Siddhartha, the Buddha Mother with white parasol. In the past, the Trayatrimsa Deva was in battle with the Asura king. When the heavenly realms was in battles with the Asura realm, the Buddha used had Siddhartha protect or cover the whole Trayatrimsa heaven. So as for you, if you know to use Siddhartha as your protection to cover your house, then ghosts and gods will not be able to come in. Then the ghosts and gods will not be able to come. To protect your whole house, then ghosts and gods will not be able to enter into your house.
我只是讲这个方法而已。
This is the only method that I'm saying now. There are many other ways too. You can also do protection for your own body or for your house.
去外面诵经，
And if you go out to perform white Sutra chanting, even if the ghosts follow you,
挡在门外，
and as you're entering your house, they would be blocked outside. They will not be able to come into the house.
啊，这样会不会
So,
很简单？好，
so you know, it's very easy, very
大
easy.
白伞盖佛母的法，就可以
Use the Dharma
这大白伞
of Siddhartha Vajra, and this is the mudra.
盖的所依。观想，念大白伞盖的咒，
Visualize and chant Siddhartha Vajra mantra, and visualize a parasol covering your whole house.
就行。观想就是大白伞盖，
That would do. So the visualization is Siddhartha Vajra,
佛母的咒，
parasol covering, and chant her mantra. Hom Mama, Hom Mama, Hom Ni Soha.
持他的咒，
Chant her mantra, and if you receive the spiritual response that she has protected you and the whole house,
就不会进来。
then those wandering ghosts and gods will not be able to come in.
他还有一个问题，
And the next question,
在家里可以用加持三碰水供养祖
at
先，
home, we can use the water that's been empowered or blessed with 3
在
home
家里你
to offer to the ancestors. Is that allowed?
你可以用
Yes.
三碰水供养它，用三会水供养它。
So the 3 home
会把
water,
外面的鬼都招来家里，会不会把外面的鬼都招来？
will
其实也
it
不会。
attract the ghosts outside
因为你
into the house?
只要
No.
做了你房子的结界，
As long as you have done protection for the house, then they are not
师
able to
尊不
come
一
in.
样。
But Grandmaster is
师尊
different.
晚上每天晚上做超度，
Every night, Grandmaster perform Bardo
鬼都
deliverance,
进来。
and the ghosts and the
但是鬼
gods
能
all
够进来
come
它是
in.
有规矩，
But if
它会让我
they
知道
come in, then there's
家
an
里也有一个
etiquette.
守护的神，
They would let me
很多
know.
守护神在。
But in my house, there are also many protector gods or
家
protector
里供的
deities.
这个
At
我
home,
已经讲过了。
I have
从
talked
心里
about
显
it.
出来，
As I leave Simu's
地
room,
藏王菩萨，
the first one is Siddhikarma Bodhisattva.
然后再来呢，
And then
吉祥天，
Sri Devi
再来本师释迦牟尼，
and Sakyamuni Buddha, the fundamental teacher,
再来是大放法王金刚，
and Mahotara Heruka.
再来是观世音菩萨，
And then Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva standing in the
高
living
王观
room,
世音菩萨，
hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and the other side of the living room. And then Amitabha Buddha also
再
in
来
the
莲
living
华
room.
生大师，也
And
在
Guru Padmasambhava is also in the living room.
再走过来，
And as I walk further, as I walk on,
有黑
there'll
不
be
动，
my study. There is a black wrathful Dakini,
再来我自己的小坛城，
and my small altar. On it, Golden
上面还有一
Mother,
尊莲华生大师，
and above also an image of Guru Padmasambhava, and below
旁边
Akalanata,
还有阿弥陀佛，
and on the side Amitabha
还有金刚
Buddha
萨埵，
and
还
Vajrasattva
有大威德金刚，
and Yamantaka
然后还有所有的地神都在那里
and all the earth gods.
啊，所有的地神。
All the earth gods at the lower level
另
there.
外，我自己房间里面
And inside my own room,
又有瑶池金母，
there's also Golden Mother and the tiger head Vajra.
是金母斧头金刚。
Golden Mother Tiger Head Vajra, very, very formidable. When I enshrined her, that inside my room, the Golden Mother Vajra Head Tiger is there. And I told him, Golden Mother Tiger Head Vajra, at night I am sleeping. So this is the bedroom and there's the bathroom. Please don't look when I'm taking a shower, because I would take off all my clothes. And then the washroom on that side. Do you wear clothes when you go to the toilets? Yes. Do you wear clothes when you get on bed? You tidily dressed? Are you dressed up when you go to bed? No. I wear underwears. I heard that people said that sleeping naked is extremely wonderful. It's the most nutritious and healthiest way. But when I sleep naked, I cannot sleep. I cannot do it. I have to wear something. I have to wear undershirt and underpants. So I requested forgiveness in this when it's unethical or impolite. So I placed it on top of my cabinet or dresser in my room. So on the first day I have said it. On the first day I enshrined. And then she treated my bed as a what's that called? As a cradle. That's a song. As a cradle, so it would rock. Would sway. So you sway and sway across the bridge to the house of Grandma. And then Grandma said, I'm a good kid, so give me a piece of cake. So she treat my bed as a cradle and sway it around. And then I sleep really well. So I could feel her right there. So very responsive. And sometimes I would join my palms and told her, tonight I want to see who and who, so, and then get on bed. And my soul would leave my body and travel to see that person. Extremely responsive. So it's fine. So in my birth of deliverance, there are many ghosts and gods coming into my house. But in my house, there are so many Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors. So I sit right in front of the Tiger Head Vajra to perform the 1,000 vessels birth of deliverance. So as long as you know to do protection of the Siddhartha, then the ghosts and gods will not enter into your house. Next one. Question from Silian. How do you pronounce this character, Chinese character? It's a master Lien Jin from Indonesia. And most precious Guru Buddha Amitabha, I sincerely homage to the Guru. I have 3 questions about a dying person. 1, someone expressed that if the deceased died due to heavy illness, that after death he would still be sick. So we have to perform the medicine Buddha repentance to eradicate the karmic sicknesses. So, however, after you die, the soul has left the physical body. So, does that make sense? Let me tell you. Because you have this physical body, therefore you have illnesses. But without the physical body, you will not be sick. So a true spiritual cultivator would know, as spoken by Lao Tzu, all transgressions are due to the physical body. Wow, heavy rain. Is it hills? Sounds very loud. The sound of hills. So we have to perform the medicine repentance for the disease. Of course, either way is fine. However, illnesses are due to this physical body. You don't believe it? We have cavities on our teeth, right? A few days ago, the dentist Gui Qing brought me to her clinic to clean my teeth and to fix a little bit. So Dharma Sister Gui Qing helped me. And she said, I have no cavities on my teeth. I maintain them really well. You know, once you die, you don't need to maintain your teeth. And you will definitely not have any cavities. Really? It doesn't matter how long you keep it. If you extract your teeth and you just place it there will not be cavity on it. The cavity is there when you're alive. The illnesses are there when you're alive. Like when Master Lien was still alive, he had vertigo and seizures. And when I saw the image, his whole brain is filled with cancer cells. And after he died, now he's gone. Don't say death so loudly. He's gone to the Pure Land. The physical body's been cremated. Let me tell you, the vertigo is gone. The seizure is gone. The cancer is gone too. Everything is gone. He's really free now. Really. Very free now. Extremely free. Sometimes he visits my house. He visits my house. He just wants my attention. And he knocked really loudly. I'm here. You go ahead. It seems like you're coming and it seems like you're going. That's Tathagata. That's the epithet for the Tathagata. Actually, there's no coming, no going. There's no problems whatsoever.
肉身才有生病。
Only only the physical bodies can be ill. The rest, no. That's the answer to your question. Second, if the disease is familiar in a certain dialect, but don't know any other languages, for example, if they only know Indonesian, but they don't understand any other Chinese, and yet the Dharma propagator used Chinese in their guidance, during a moment of death, would they understand, or should we use different language in order to be effective? Let me tell you, any language will work. Even the mind, the thought, even chanting it silently in your heart would also work, will be effective. Do you know that Grandmaster can also do the Oja? How do you pronounce that? That they would move, and they usually being done by 3 people, but Grandmaster can do it with 1 person, like the round table divination. I just use the blessing power. Then now this is very difficult to lift. It's different than usual. It's attached to the desk. The same with this Vajra bell, with a pad. Now it's like glued to the desk top. So it's glued to the desktop. It's heavier than usual, and you cannot lift it. Yes, it's just as simple as this. So spiritual power is this. It's like this. Once a person dies, he would become a soul. Then he's going to be very sensitive, very responsive. Then he can speak any languages. That they can understand any languages, even in the past when I asked the Oja, I will not speak it loudly. It's because it's a very secret question. I just say it silently. Only you know. Nobody else know. You just say it in your mouth. They know, and the answer is given. Even by thinking it, they would know too. That's the spirit. So when a person is dying, that's the most effective, or the most sensitive, the most responsive. So wherever they want to go, just close their eyes and they get there. So you can use any language to guide them during moments of death. All will work. All will be effective. English is fine too. If you're fluent in English, you can use English or Spanish or Japanese. And they would understand. They understand everything. The third question. And for the deceased before they die, like they've never come into contact with Buddhist sutras, so if we chant Buddhist sutras to them, will they follow or would they understand? Because most Buddhist sutras are Chinese and classic Chinese. And most people don't necessarily understand them, but if we chant them for the deceased, will they understand? Or should we just chant an easier sutra so that they understand? Thank you for your compassionate guidance. Thank you. It's the same to the second question. They would understand any sutra, any sutras. And they would understand any languages. It's a very interesting, very strange thing. Once a person dies, everything is so spiritual, so responsive. They understand everything. So today we will expound on the Vajra Sutra. There's a comparison here. If one fills the 3,000 great thousand worlds with the 7 precious jewels as an act of giving, would his merits and blessings be enormous? Enormous. However, if you expound the 4 verses, then the merits and blessings would exceed the 3,000 great thousand worlds of 7 precious jewels as an act of giving. So the latter exceeds the former. So this is a comparison. So there are many comparisons inside the Vajra Sutra. And they use analogy. So you give 7 precious jewels of the 3,000 great thousand worlds that generates tremendous merits. However, explaining the 4 verses to other people, no view or no phenomena of self, others, sentient beings, and lifespan, the merits of explaining this is greater than the act of giving of the 7 precious jewels of 3,000 great thousand worlds. So here, actually, there are 3 kinds of acts of givings. The first kind is giving wealth or money, 7 precious jewels. So you give money to perform merits. That's the first kind. We can say, so you use the 3,000 great thousand worlds of 7 precious jewels. The second kind is giving Dharma. You give Dharma teaching to others. You tell them Buddha Dharma. This is also a kind of giving. That's giving Dharma. And the merits exceeds the giving wealth. The third kind is giving fearlessness. What is this? So it's equality in giving and forsaking, and that is a bodhisattva. Equally giving. Giving equally. Yesterday I've said there was an old disciple of mine who borrowed money from me. I loaned him the money.
一回首已是百年生。
And as soon as he turned his head, it's 100 years passed. With a cloth bag, and he just looked back a little, and I give him all of my personal money, all my personal savings, took them all away.
我是无畏施，我没有想。
That was giving fearlessness.
我给了他就给了他。
I never thought that he would pay
他
back.
是跟我借钱。
I give it to him, I give it to him. He borrowed the money from me and I loaned him the money. Do you know how he spent it? I don't know.
他如果拿去把这个钱拿去布施呢？
If he used the money for charity, to do goods,
拿去做好的事情呢？
to do good things,
我很少用钱。
I always think that I rarely use money. I rarely spend money. So if someone uses it on my behalf, because money is to be spent, right? If you don't spend it, then it's not money, it's just papers. Grandmaster, you don't spend money, why don't you just let me spend your money? So if you take it for charity, sure. So this is giving fearlessness, giving equality. Money is for spending. If you don't spend it, it's the same as papers. What difference would it be with the toilet paper? Think about it. Money is to be spent. So I save my personal money and I never spend any. So he took it and spent it. So he helped me spend it. No big deal. All equal. You need to think this way. So I never ask him to return the money. I never go after him and say, hey, pay back the money that you took from me. So this is equally giving, equally and fearlessly giving. This is the conduct of a bodhisattva. You always think of others and other people, do good deeds. Take it to do good deeds. Is there money that belongs to you on earth? No, it's just by coincidence that you have this money. So if someone helps you spend it, you should thank them. Thank you for using the money. This is also the spirit of Jesus. If someone takes your outer clothes, you should also give him the underwears. Then you would be totally naked. If someone takes your pants, suit pants, then I'll give you underpants. That's the spirit of Jesus. So Jesus also gave fearlessly and equally. He also has the spirit of a bodhisattva. On his last night, how did he pray to God? He knew full well that he was about to be captured and crucified on the cross. And he prayed and said, they did not know what they were doing. So please, God, forgive them. The crucifiers, the executor. because they did not know what they were doing.
耶稣也是无畏施哦。
So Jesus also gave fearlessly and equally.
所以你如果修行到有这种
So if you cultivate spiritually until you reach these three kinds of giving, so giving dharma is better than giving money, and then giving fearlessly and equally exceeds giving dharma. So you need to understand this kinds of comparison, because the spirit of a bodhisattva is extremely tremendous. And also Jesus showed the fearlessness, equality and forgiveness to those people who harm him. He prayed to God. That's how great Jesus was. So I found that we should become a bodhisattva in our spiritual cultivation. Bodhisattva is our goal. The Vajra Sutra says equality and fearlessness, and there is a comparison. If one fills the 3,000 great thousand worlds with the 7 precious jewels as an act of giving, the merit is enormous. However, if one upholds the sutra and expounds it to others, even if it's only 4 verses, his merit would exceed. Giving dharma is greater, and then equally and fearlessly giving is even greater. So today I'm expounding chapter 8, arising according to the Dharma. I want to explain it clearly. There is a comparison in it. One is giving the 7 precious jewels, the next one giving dharma, and then I add one more, giving equally and fearlessly. If you give equally and fearlessly, then the world would be in peace. What is globalization? That's the ideals of Confucius. That's an ideal that the whole world is Pure Land. If every single person thinks of others, there is no arguments, no fightings, no contention. And between people too, there are no disharmony, no jealousies, no envy. Because if someone is better than you, then you start to be envious and jealous. You always think for yourself. That's not the spirit of Buddhism. That you have self. That's not no self. If you truly reach the realm of no self, you just think for others, never for yourself. That's Bodhisattva. You don't ask for yourself, you ask for others. Bodhisattvas. This is, and look at the world. You turn on the televisions, and every single person is very selfish. Every family is selfish. Every country is selfish. But the Buddhism, the true, like one world, concept is in Buddhism.
同体大悲
So loving kindness and compassion for all,
那是菩萨。
close or far, that's a bodhisattva.
所以不要为个人，不要
So don't be for individuals
吃醋啊、嫉妒
or jealousies and envy.
这都不好。
Those are not good.
其实大家这个常常为他人想，不为自己。
If you always think for others and not for yourself,
受菩萨戒的人来受菩萨戒。
I often say that those who have made the bodhisattva vows,
他人想，
a bodhisattva is just that not thinking for self but for others. And you generate bodhicitta, you exchange places with others. You put yourself in other people's shoes. Just think, if you were that person, what would it be? Always think this way.
自他不犯法，
So exchange places with
中的一样。
others. So it's one of the
中大师传给
bodhicitta generation. Guru Salingpa transmitted to Guru Atisha
其中的智
the bodhicitta dharma, and one of them is exchanging places with others, is teaching you to become a bodhisattva.
所以设身处地为他人想，在这个里面，
设身处地。
依法出身份第八的比较里面，
So think for others. So in this chapter 8, arising to the Dharma, by comparisons, giving Dharma is better than giving money. And next,
这个
giving
更好。
equally and fearlessly is even better than giving Dharma.
菩萨的精神，受了菩萨戒，
You are a bodhisattva. We learn and train the spirit of bodhisattva by receiving or making the vows of bodhisattvas. You
没有自己
help others, you forsake yourselves.
菩萨
There is no self. A bodhisattva has no self.
成就，
Then that's called an attainment,
因为没有自己，也没有
because
成
there is
就
no self.
因为没有成就，
There's no attainment. And because no attainment, because there's no self, there's no attainment. Because there's no attainment, then it is called an attainment.
出生问第八，我讲这个比较给大家听。
So in this chapter 8,
释迦牟尼佛
Rising on Dharma, I
放在
explain this comparison.
我如果不
Sakyamuni Buddha
你们
placed this comparison inside it, but if I did not extrapolate it, that you would not know.
四个记
Just explaining these 4 verses would exceed giving
然后再
wealth,
加上平等无畏时，
and on top of it, giving fearlessly and equally. That would be even better. Everything would be perfect.
为什么国家跟国家会有战，会有
Why would there be wars,
战啊？
trade wars, or any kind of wars between countries? Because for the sake of their own country.
你为什么不为其他的国家想一想？
Why don't you think for other countries?
你看，在我看那电视啊，
I watched the
他养了
TV.
很多的那个
Someone
猫，然后他放任所有的猫，
has
所有的
many
社
cats,
区都把它弄得很脏，
and the cats are all over the place and make the community dirty. And someone complained to the management team,
他很
which
里面的
warned
寄信密告，既然
that
不
person
杀鸡把他的门
and he hates the
看到
complainer
这个电视，
and then used garbage bags to lock their door. They're all
为
selfish.
邻居想一想啊，
You should think for the neighbor,
到
right?
处去拉屎，
Because you have so many cats and they all poop everywhere and it was very smelly, and of course the neighbor will not be able to stand it.
然后人家密告他，
And then they
他就把人
complained,
家的大门给他锁起来，
and then he blocked
从
the
外面
neighbor's
外
door
面
from
把他的
outside
门呐、用大
using
门的那
lots
个
of
东西把他用绑起来，
and
哎
tied
他出不来，还住在里
the
面，
handle so they could not get
他叫
out,
警察来开门，
and called the police to open their door.
然后录影机又录到是他的对面邻居做的，
And it was in the camera that was done by the neighbor across. So seeing that, we know everybody is selfish. The same with countries.
你想想看，那几个
Think about those presidents, the few
你看
presidents
那些
that
当
we
总
know,
统是什么样？
how they are.
哎，这个我们学佛的人。
And as Buddhist practitioners, we should not criticize others.
人生这一场戏，
I just feel that this play or movie of a human life is very short. Look at Lien Yin, he's
眼
gone.
看他人死，
You see other people
心中
die.
热如
Your heart is as
不是
hot
他
as fire.
看轮到
It's not for others, but thinking
本
for
来就是我啦，
ourselves. Next is I. Next is me.
想
I
一
would
想
be next. Think about it.
你还争什么？
What are you fighting for?
大家不要争来
What
争
are
去，
you arguing about?
平等
Don't be
无畏舍，
fighting all the time. Be equal. Equally and fearlessly give. Om Mani Padme Hum.